This is the mother of all podcasts.
Check this out.
It's the Happy Hour with the DallasCowboys.com All-Stars.
On the Happy Hour, everyone, and I am so pumped about it. That right there was the big man, Brian Broaddus, in the crowd. I'm Lindsay Draper, Rob Phillips, Ambar Garcia, Derek Eagleton, and Nate Newton. We are at the Concrete Cowboy in Frisco. If you're local, you still have time to get here because we're going to be here an hour.
Yeah, we are.
So come on out. And the reason we're celebrating today, we got a lot of our staff hanging out with us, Derek, is because your amazing crew won a few Emmys.
Yeah, they did.
Tell us about it.
They did. We got a lot of Emmys this year. We got, I think we won 2 Emmys. Several people won in 2 categories. But
Right.
That makes, over the last 2 years now, 4 Emmy awards for our crew, which phenomenal.
Yes.
Just absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so blessed to have such a great crew.
We love you
Such a great
guys.
crew.
What? Who? I mean, you ain't got what shows we need.
Okay,
to know.
so we
yeah,
had,
be a little more
um,
detail. Wow, my
We
friend.
got an hour, Nate.
Yeah, but we need to have some details. Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can
What's
get
the
it
name
right.
of the shows, and then people can chime in and see
It
how
was
great y'all are.
The documentary one for, I think it was, I don't remember what the category name was, but it was the documentary that won. I want to say it was like One Time Special or something
Good.
like that. And then we won for our year-end special, which was a really big win because that show kind of sums up our entire season. And to be able to pull that off after the season that the team had was, I guess, some silver lining in what was otherwise a really, really bad year. So
Yes.
pretty good.
But never bad. Wasn't great, but never bad,
Okay.
brother.
All right.
Never.
All right.
So I'm hosting this show.
Yes, you are.
I went up to Derek. I went up to Nick.
yes, you
I went
did.
to all these people, and I
Uh-huh.
said, "What's the plan for the Like, what do you guys want to do?" I got no answers. So guess what? This is my show.
Okay.
We're doing what I want to do today.
Okay, well, let's rock
so
and
we're
roll.
gonna start. I'm gonna let everybody get their words on the Panthers out. Rob, you can go first, big fella. You were at the game, and I read your 3 and out today. Talked a little bit about the receivers, but you can start us off. Everyone get your thoughts in, and we're turning the page as of right now, moving on to the Giants.
Well, we just talked to Tyron Smith in the locker room a few minutes ago. He's trying to move on. The line's trying to move on. Everybody's trying to move forward. They get back to practice on Wednesday. I think it's one you just got to put away pretty quick.
Denver
And
from last year.
Denver from last year.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, it was similar offensively and defensively. And really, it's you get emotional about it, I think, if you're a player, and especially as a fan right off the bat. But I think if you really analyze what happened over the last 2 days, they didn't give themselves a chance offensively to have any type of success in the first half. And that's what bit them ultimately. It was
What do you mean by that?
3rd and 12, 3rd and 26, 3rd and 17, whatever
2
it was.
for 11 and third down efficiency.
0 of 5 in the
Yep.
first half, and they couldn't dig themselves out of it.
Yeah.
Penalties on the line on the first game of the season, Nate. I'm just going to let you verify that is just being undisciplined.
Yeah, in a lot of cases it is, but you have to give the Panthers credit. I mean, Short, Dontario Poe, Peppers, Kinkley, these guys are moving at the speed of light. Our guys looked like they hadn't played a preseason game. They looked like they hadn't practiced together. What we have to do, number one and foremost, you can say whatever you want about the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the wide receivers. Number one, our quarterback has to be fixed. He has to play better. I don't believe that you play a game and look like everything you do is going to have to be perfect. He's going to have to just let himself go, let his mind be free, and play football. A lot of things you saw, he was hesitant. Do I run? Do I throw? Hey, man, free your mind and something will follow. Believe that. I will put a bad word in there, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
Amber, you're up.
Well, I'm just going to tie it up into that. And one of the main things that I think everyone liked from Dak Prescott since the moment he came in and became the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, it was his confidence, his poise, how effortless he looked out there. And now that is one of the biggest things that I feel that he's missing when he goes out there. I feel that he has lost that confidence. It takes him a while. Now he's hesitant. He's having to overthink things instead of making it or leaving it flow and just being confident enough to throw the ball to Beasley or whoever, just making sure in his mind and know that he can make that throw.
Now preach, girl.
How much of that confidence is not having your starting offensive line out there?
You know what? I wish I could say that is a good excuse. I wish I could say that. but it's too many teams in the league that only have one good offensive lineman. Our coaches have to scheme it up a little bit better. Connor Williams has to play better. I think Looney did all right. Our tackles are good. They will play better. When you play the first game, you may stumble, but we should see great improvement the second game. Everybody should pick up their A game, because if we don't pick up our A game, we're going to be 2 games behind in the NFC and 1 game and probably 2 games behind the Eagles. So we need to pick it up.
Derek?
I'll give everybody.
Now. Yeah, give it up for Nate right there.
I'm going to give everybody a silver lining in this whole thing. If you're looking for a silver lining and you want to know something that comes out of this game that you can actually be positive about,
And what?
I think it would be these wide receivers and tight ends. And that's one of the questions that we had going into this week is, can the Cowboys actually make this work without having a number 1 wide receiver? And what I saw during this game was a number of times when you had wide receivers, you had tight ends open. They were getting separation. This was not a situation where last year where guys weren't getting open, so the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball. There were opportunities. He had places to go with the ball. Quarterback didn't get it there. Now, that's still going to be an issue. Quarterback's going to still have to figure that out. But the wide receivers and the tight ends, they did a pretty good job this week.
Ryan loved your answer.
Just
broke into applause.
Now, what threw me off, I'm trying to decide. A young lady walked by, the guac and all this.
Want some?
I'm trying to figure out if the guac better than what you're saying.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to say.
You're easily distracted, Nate.
No, what I'm saying is he agreeing to what I just said. I'm in total agreement. We are a running team. Don't believe that. The league is not going to allow that. This is still a throwing league. Yes, sir. And I knew going into this game, me and Brothers talked about it a bunch of times. Dontario Poe, K1 Short, and Luke Kuechly in that triangle. In the first play, we come in with 2 tight ends, a fullback, and Thompson and Allen Hurst. I'm like, what are we doing here?
You know what they did, Nate? Second play of the second half, they go 4 wide.
Thank you.
They spread them out.
Come on.
And all of a sudden, Allen Hurst has a 20-yard gain, and then here we go. And now Zeke's eating.
Here we go.
Now they punted on that drive.
Come on, man.
But they got something going. Now, did it take them too long to make that adjustment? Could they have done that in the first half? But they did make adjustments, and they did have success in the second half.
But your job as an offensive coordinator and as a head coach is to be looking and saying, okay, what's going on? When I played, now I don't know if it doesn't change. When I played, our first series where it was 3 and out, 10-play drive, the first thing we could do before we took a drink of water was go tell our offensive line coach what was happening to us on the field. So your offensive coordinator can say, okay, well, we'll try this, we'll do this, and we'll do that. The game plan is like Mike Tyson say, what you going to do until I hit you in your mouth? Now the game starts. It ain't what you done scripted up, because what you scripted up may not be working. Now, I done sat over here with y'all long enough. I got to go get with these fans when we go to a break, all right?
Let me jump in really quick.
Yeah, jump in.
Hashtag Cowboys HH. That's where you can ask your questions.
Yes,
You're
you
going to
can.
need to take
All
an
right.
HH chill pill right now.
Yeah.
Ask your questions there. I'm getting to all of them as we go. Here we go. Let's get one right now from Gold 1E3. I watched the All-22, and I did notice the wide receivers got open on a lot of plays. My concern is the time. Brian watched the tape as well. With you there, big guy. My concern is the timing in which they get open. On short routes, they seem to run into the corner and break, not allowing the ball to get out quick. The timing just seems off. You guys concerned?
No.
I didn't see that.
No, because the reason I'm not concerned is I feel like it was too obvious. It wasn't 1,000 things. We don't have 1,000 things to work on. Fix the quarterback. Demand. We went out and got Sanjay Law. We're going to all look like robots running the same routes and be perfect. Okay, be perfect. That means the quarterback got to do. What you laughing about, Rob? Yeah.
I like
So
that.
now, I heard Dak say it in his post-game show. I'm not worried about that. I got great confidence in Sanjay Law. All the guys going to look alike. Okay, be alike, but get the ball to him.
Yep.
Be alike and start Michael Gallup. Because the other guys are not head and shoulders over Michael Gallup. Start him.
And he played more as the game went on.
That's right. And he need to play. He need to start.
He might be the most explosive guy they've got this side
Drew
of
a
Cole
couple
Beasley.
penalties this week. I mean, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Brian is get ready to clap again because Dak had him deep, dead to rights. That might have been a touchdown. late in the game. So they had chances. They really had chances. As bad as it was, as ugly as it was.
All right, before we play our first game, we're turning the page right now. I said we're doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
So Giants game. I don't know if anyone has had a chance to watch the Giants-Jacksonville game. Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham Jr. both had 100-yard games, but they only scored 15 points,
Yes.
Brian? 15 points.
Right.
So they're kind of in the same boat as the
No, they're
Cowboys,
not.
it seems like. Okay,
No, they're
tell
not.
me. Tell me,
No, they're
Nate.
not. Don't get the Dallas Cowboys defense confused with Jacksonville defense.
Right.
Jacksonville defense took them all the way to an AFC championship game. They got it like that. They got 2 elite corners, a nice safety. They got Calais Campbell up front. They bringing pure thunder. They got Jack, who got an interception this past game. This is not – we are not that. Now, I'm not saying we can't be that, but we are not that. We should be able to score. Now, we got some hogs up front. Harrison, the snacks. I mean, this machine cranking all the time. We got Delvin up front. Them guys don't go with it. Janoris Jenkins. We got my man Collins in the back. They going to have a squad for us, but we should be able to break these dudes over time. We should be able to break these dudes. Come on now.
Anybody looked at the Giants yet?
Yeah, and I called Brian, and he's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
They got hogs up front, but we're going to make them wallow.
It's gonna be a challenge for the Cowboys defensively this week, much more than it was
Yes.
last week, in my opinion. I think
Yes.
this is an offense that's multidimensional.
Multidimensional.
The running back is obviously a good young running back, and that passing
You mean
game is
Barkley?
going to be and that passing game is going to be significantly better than anything
Yeah.
they saw last week. Last week they didn't have to worry about the pass as much because that's just not what they do. They run the ball in Carolina. This week, this is a team that can throw.
Yes, they can.
And
I'm
they,
with
and they
you.
got some guys
I'm with
that
you.
got some guys that can take a simple slant route and take it all the way
Not
to
some
distance.
guys.
Yeah.
2 guys.
2 guys, right?
Well,
They got
and-
Shepard, and they got,
Right.
Yeah,
Odell.
And Mr. Barkley broke deep for a big gain, too. Now, the question for me is, though, with their offensive line, how much better are they to protect Eli than they were last year? That, to me, the
Worse.
jury's
Again,
still out on that.
No.
They're not, and honestly, I
Not
don't think
worse.
I think that's going to be a problem for them, and I think it'll be a problem for them all year. However, I don't think that their offense is predicated on that. Once again, I think they got a running back that can make the offensive line look better.
Yes, sir.
And I think they've got wide receivers that can take short passes, quick passes. We know Eli likes to get the ball out, so they can take those short passes and take them to the house. So that's still the problem. Still is, can your corners and your safeties cover well, and can your defensive front keep that running back from getting out and getting off to the races where they got to try to chase him down?
All I know is that the Giants were able to score more than 10 points against the Jacksonville's defense.
Right.
And the Cowboys are still unable to score more than 10 points.
What
Going
was your
all the way
stat?
back to last year, I don't know how many
Less
games
than
that was.
double digits in 5
It's
of
horrible.
the
5 of the
you
last
need
9.
To, you need to score
you-
points
yo.
to win games.
They say that, like, it's an old saying, the road lead to this. You know how people say the road
Yeah.
to the Super Bowl goes through New
Yeah.
England?
Yeah.
The road to Barkley and to Eli goes through Flowers. They right tackle.
True.
Just make
That's a
sure
good
our
thing
number
for the
90.
Cowboys.
Because they're-
Make sure
yeah.
our number
That's a good
90
thing for the Cowboys.
is ready to,
That's all I'm saying. There are
Yeah.
opportunities, once again, for their best defensive player, arguably, to
Yeah.
go make some plays. So
Yeah.
there's matchups that favor Dallas, too.
No doubt.
All
No
right,
doubt.
we're playing fill in the blank now. This is a group effort, and we're not taking turns. Shout out the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay?
Ooh.
Fill in the blank. Here we go. Blank gave me the most anxiety on Sunday during the game.
Dak.
It has to be Dak.
Dak gave you anxiety?
Brett Maher.
That's a
He
good
mi- he
one.
missed that first kick, and you know what? They didn't do him any
Oh,
favors.
No.
Right.
With the penalty, holding penalty that pushed him back, but then they score on the next drive a touchdown, but they're in field goal range. I'm like, man, dude, just
They wanted
But
to use
next
him
one,
in, but they
boot
didn't
it
have a
through.
choice.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
anxiety though because you kind of saw it company as soon as they got rid of Dan Bailey.
there's more pressure on
we
this
all
dude.
we all
Yeah.
got the sense that this was going to be a problem. I know Nick during the game. Nick was sitting beside me, and it was at whatever point that drive started, it was like they got, I don't know, maybe to the 40-yard line or so of their end of the field, and Nick was like, "I already see this coming. They're
Here
going to
we
get
go.
down. They're going to be in
Yes.
field goal range, and this kid's going to have to make this kick." And that's the anxiety that
Yes.
you felt because you knew coming off of the way he made the team and Dan Bailey didn't. It was just setting up to be something that was going to be tough for him.
I'm with Dave. I'm rooting for this guy because
too.
there's so much pressure. Like, he did nothing wrong except win the job. He just did his job, won the job, but there's so much pressure on him. You know.
All right, next. At least I have full confidence in blank.
Tank.
Full confidence in the tank, baby. I'm right there with you.
Tank.
Zeke. I still have confidence despite everything that happened in this past game. He was still able to put up, yards, and little by little, it still adds up. I mean, he was averaging 4.6 yards per carry.
But let me ask you this question, and this is a question for all you guys. Was Zeke special this week?
No, but
He
it's a team
wasn't.
effort.
No, I get it, but do you feel like there were plays where if Zeke were special
Luke Kuechly
Zeke,
was special.
if Zeke was special Zeke, that he could have gotten more than
But
what
we've
he got?
seen-
There's no
it-
special Zeke without Travis and
Let me say
Yeah,
this right
but
here.
we'll-
Yes,
we've
it is.
seen-
Let me
That
say this right
helps,
here. Let
for
me say
sure.
this right here. Have y'all seen any of the Giants game? Have you seen the highlight
part of
of
it,
Barkley run?
Yeah.
Yes.
He got hit twice, 3 times.
That Zeke is that guy too now.
Yeah.
Zeke, we have a better offensive line still than what
so are
the
you
Giants
saying
have.
something's up with Zeke?
No,
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying is, if we're gonna continue to say this every year that Zeke starts slow, don't we think we need to do something a little different earlier for Zeke?
That was my
If he's
point.
gonna start slow,
That was my point.
There it
That was my
is.
point.
Yeah.
I am a big believer, and if you listen to the Cowboys break every day at 11:45, you would know that
Who's
we've
on
been
that show?
it's me, Dave, Nick,
Oh,
and
okay.
Amber.
Go ahead.
But you would know we've been talking about that whole preseason. Do you play? Do you not? And my feeling on this is when you accept the fact that you're not going to play these guys during the preseason, you're also accepting the fact that they're probably some of them might get off to a slow start. And I don't think Sunday what we saw from Zeke. I'll give you one example of a play. That play around the outside, it was the right side.
The very
where,
beginning?
Yeah, where the guy kind of barely grabbed his and tripped him up and grabbed his shoe. I don't think that play happens in week 5 of the NFL season.
He had one guy to beat, right?
Yeah,
That
he had one guy to
yeah.
beat, and then he was off the pay
He
dirt.
had that twice.
Yeah,
He had
but
that
my point is,
twice.
I don't think week 5 Zeke. I think that's a touchdown. Like I don't think that he gets tripped up right there, and that may just be my belief, but I'm a big believer in the fact that there's a reason why teams play in the preseason. It's not just because you're trying to get the game over with. It's because you need the work. And as much as you can say these guys are vets, they've been around here for 2 years now. This offense they still got a lot of new parts. The whole wide receiving crew, for the most part, are new parts. The whole tight end crew are new parts. The fullback is a new part. The left guard is a new part. They
The
needed
center is a
opportunities.
new
The
part.
center is a
They
new
had-
part. They needed opportunities to be able to get out there and work together as a group. And I think that because they didn't, now they're having to pay the price of that, and that means it may take them a week or two before this offense gets rolling, if they get rolling.
To Derek's point, Lens, they had 10 new offensive guys play in that game the other night, and 5 new starters. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's huge.
preseason helps.
Yeah.
Preseason helps.
Next up, I really expect to see more out of blank.
Back to Zeke.
Okay. I'm
Right,
with you
just-
on
I
that.
would go with Tavon Austin. I think that,
that's a
with
good
all
one.
the hype given behind since the time he came on here and what we saw during training camp, I think, especially me, I expected to see a lot more. I expected the Cowboys to really take good use of
That's
him,
what I was going to
utilize
say.
him better.
Do you wish that they would have put him in more? Because he only got 10 plays. So
Right.
that's what you expected more
He
out
should
of?
have. Why bring this guy in and keep him kind of like, we have this guy. We're going to figure out to use him however. Call him whatever you want, whether he's a running back, receiver. Why do all this and not really utilize him? One
Web
of the
back.
fastest guys that you have on the team.
I was surprised by that, too. Especially
10 plays.
Thompson got, I think, 30 snaps almost, and was the kind of the guy they went to on 4th down late in the game. That's a guy they cut last week and then brought him back. I mean,
Yeah.
Tavon. But look, we'll see how. I don't think they're done figuring out the
Yeah.
receiver rotation.
Let
yet.
me say this here, man.
Yeah.
If Zeke prosper, he prospers. He's the toy. The toy has no room. It's like a Ferrari. You know, you drive the Ferraris on Sundays. You know, but if you drive for 7 days a week, it tends to tie up, and it costs too much to fix. So you need your everyday Cadillac. That's Zeke. That's
Yeah.
the everyday Cadillac. If he prosper, then his team prosper. You know, and that's just how it goes. Even for Tavon. I mean, I thought we were using more too, but the fly sweep ain't gonna do it if it ain't no run game. Fly sweep works when there's a run game.
But here's my challenge with that, Nate, is they had opportunities. I mean, think about it. They threw him a screen once. He picked up 9 yards, and they called it back. There was a penalty on the play, but that's the only time they did it. They didn't go back to it the rest of the game. And by the way, they called two screens to tight ends. So if you're gonna call screens, Who would you rather get the ball in the hands of in open space? A guy like Tavon Austin, 4-3 guy, or a tight end? I just don't know if it was the best use of their personnel.
I'm with you, but when you get in a jam and in a tight, you don't ride with who you don't know. And that was
we don't know anybody.
But no,
Yeah, we don't know the tight ends either.
But that's what I'm saying. Listen to me now. But that probably was part of Dak's problem when the heat started getting on. You know,
I think he presses when that happens.
You're talking about Dak. You're saying Dak goes to what's familiar to him. I got you.
Our coaching staff too. They go back to what they know. You know. And wow.
Next up, Des Bryant's tweets made me blank.
Laugh.
Maybe
Obviously,
shrug,
right there.
shrug like I don't.
No
care,
response.
Whatever.
I giggled at him.
Yeah.
I giggled. Yeah.
No
You giggled?
Yeah, I had a little giggle at it because, I mean, it is, to
Entertaining.
borrow a phrase from Derek Eagleton, it is what it is.
It is
At this
what it
point,
is.
he's not here. He's not coming back.
Yep.
And they've just got to move forward without him. And look, they've got receivers they got to evaluate now.
Cowboys will beat the Giants on Sunday because blank.
They were able to score points.
That's
More
true.
than 10
I'm still
points.
trying to figure
It
that
may
one
be
out.
fun. It may be funny, but that's true.
It is true.
It is
I'm
true.
laughing,
That's
but
true.
hey, what else can
It's
you do at
true.
this point?
All right,
You
y'all,
gotta
we're going to
score.
take a quick break from the Concrete Cowboy here in Frisco. You still have about 39 minutes to get out here and hang out with us.
Come on.
Come on out. We'll be back in a
Come
few.
on.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com.
To the happy hour. Yeah, check this out. With the DallasCowboys.com All-Stars.
I'm an all-star tonight.
You are an all-star.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour. We are continuing here from Concrete Cowboy in Frisco. We've got the beautiful star behind us.
Yeah,
It's
we
a
do.
blast out here tonight. We are celebrating DallasCowboys.com winning so many Emmys. We have so many awesome people here in the crowd. I'm going to get to Twitter for some questions. Hashtag CowboysHH, as in happy hour. Ryan wants to know, guys, it seems like the Cowboys are using their two tight end sets similar to what they had plans for Escobar when they drafted him. Wouldn't Escobar be a better fit now than Jarwin? Because whoop whoop, Gavin Escobar was let go today, or maybe yesterday.
They're
by
not
the
going to
Dolphins.
give their.
He's been cut how many
their
times
draft
now
pick.
since he left the Cowboys?
Poor guy.
I know.
There's a reason. There's a reason. He's not an NFL player. We can say that because he's not on an NFL roster right now.
He never rounded out his game, and I think like Blake Jarwin needs to do that too. He needs, he's more of a receiving tight end. But I'll just say this: the quarterback loves him,
All right.
and he missed him
I
down
know.
the field deep, but he loves him, and that's
Loves
what.
him.
And
And to be
again-
honest with you, real quick, can I just say this? And Brian pointed this out, and I think it's true.
You're the boss,
On
Derek.
Jarwin. That play, I know Dak is getting a lot of the heat on that, but if you watch that play, I think I think Jarwin was floating a little bit. Like he was running
Okay.
full speed, he stopped and started kind of jogging, and kind of kept jogging along rather than either stopping and catching the ball or doing something. I think Dak expected him to stop. So I don't want to – I've already given Dak a lot of criticism. I don't want to give him that one. I think that might have been a miscommunication more than it is it he just couldn't get the ball there.
Yeah.
I see you, Derek. All right, guys, we have our great Nate Newton in the crowd with a fan question. Hey, bud.
Hey, we got Dean from the Frisco.
Let's go,
and
Dean.
this is practice, so we're practicing. Can y'all hear me pretty good there?
We got you.
Absolutely, we got
Can
you.
y'all hear me?
We got you.
You got me now?
We got you.
You got me. Hey,
Wrong
Dean,
sponsor.
what is your question for these lovely panelists there?
All right.
And by the way, he said he likes Lindsay.
Who doesn't,
We all
Dean?
do.
Exactly. So, there was a lot said about the receivers learning to run routes during training camp this year, better, more than they have before. How much do you think that had to do with the ineffectiveness of the offense, since they really didn't have Dak during the preseason at all, for 1-2 series? What did that have to do with it?
I'll jump right in because I went straight up to Alan Hearns at training camp and asked him that. I said, okay, not only are you new, all the guys around you are new, and you guys barely get any time with Dak. Is that a challenge? He was like, absolutely. We got to take advantage of all these reps out here at training camp, but it isn't a lot. And it is, he didn't say problematic, but he absolutely acknowledged that it's a hard thing to overcome.
Yeah.
We're seeing it now.
I mean, it happened with the whole offense, too, and that's the thing. Like, you think about how much time the offensive line was not together because of injuries, because you had Zach out for a minute, you had Tyron out for a minute, you had Travis out for a minute. You think about Dak not being in there at certain times and not using him in the preseason as much. You think about Zeke not playing in the preseason at all for the most part. I mean, there were so many parts of this thing that were missing. And, by the way, all those new guys now they have no experience with these guys in game situations. That their first real experience happened in this last game.
Well, you can go down the list of the receivers that missed time, all the new receivers that missed time in preseason, Amber. I mean, Deontay didn't get into practice till the end of camp. Tavon missed time. Beasley missed time. Williams is coming on. He was slow to get work back in with the foot injury. So those guys did Lindsey's right. They didn't get a ton of time on task. Dak didn't use it as an excuse after the game, but I think, they need more reps together. They need more time on task.
Going back, I think one of the only guys that I remember watching during training camp was Cole Beasley, where he would run his route, and literally as soon as he turned around, the ball will be there. So Dak knew where he was going to be at. Cole knew where to go at. And again, that's basically the only guy that still is here from the guys that have been here since Dak.
And who we saw succeed on Sunday.
Exactly. So obviously that affects a lot the whole connection things with the receivers.
You want to go back out to Nate? Looks like we got another question.
What we got next?
Hey, look at here, man. I was talking to Mark Littlejohn over here. Can you believe it? He ain't got I don't see Indian in it, but it's Littlejohn. Anyway, he's a Bronco fan. He has a Cowboy question.
All right.
Let's do it.
When are they going to be able to improve the offensive line to be able to protect Dak?
Hey, you want to ask that to Big Nate next to you?
I want to hear.
You're the 6-time Pro
Let's
Bowler.
go,
You're the 3-time
Nate.
champ. You take that question first.
To me, looking at other games and looking at other teams play,
Yeah, no problem.
our protection, okay, we gave up 6 sacks. How much of that was by my quarterback holding the ball? How much of that, one of them was on bad protection where a linebacker just ran free. We don't know if it was Zeke's problem or our left tackle's problem. So I think the protection overall wasn't bad. Wasn't bad now. But we will have to do better because I think, like Miss Amber said, our quarterback ain't walking like a peacock now. He still got his feathers up. He walking a turkey trot, but he ain't walking like
But
a
again,
peacock.
you can only protect your quarterback for so many seconds. You can't just hold him there, give him a whole minute to think what to do and let him do his thing. I think the offensive line has done a good job, and they did everything they could this past game. Even Connor Williams, being a rookie, he still did his job. Yes, he failed at moments, but he was still, I think, to my opinion, good enough to where a better quarterback would have been able to have plenty of time to get the ball out. But
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Littlejohn.
Thank you, Mr. Littlejohn.
Good question.
Baller
Yeah,
Bronco fan.
Amber made a good point. Connor Williams had like a handful of plays that he struggled in. He gave up 2 sacks, but other than that, I thought he did okay. Look, he's he's going to struggle a little bit against big, powerful.
That was
defensive
K1
linemen.
short. Like the dude
he
can
big-
ball. Like
yeah.
he's a good defensive, really good defensive
Have
tackle, one of the
fun,
best in the
rookie.
league. So
He's made a Pro Bowl.
welcome to the NFL. I mean, that's a part of it. And guess what? He's not going to get any breaks.
He's going to get another one
because he
this
got
Sunday.
snacks this weekend.
That's how he looked against one of the best players.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the expectation is that he's going to face a lot of these good guys. He's got to face Fletcher Cox twice. So as he goes on, he's got to get better. He's got to get better, and you would expect that by the time you get closer to the end of the season, some of the problems that he had
Even
early
a
in the
week.
season, in the week
Imagine
one,
in one game
right?
what all you learned as a
he'll be
rookie.
better. But if you went into this game expecting that he wasn't going to lose a single battle
And
to
Brian
short,
said he didn't lose as much as
right.
everyone thinks.
But if you didn't think he was going to lose a single battle to short, you either did no short or you were just completely misguided.
One thing we talked about on Talking Cowboys weekdays, 9:30 a.m.
Okay. Okay.
Brian's talked about it. I think we got a caller that mentioned it. Could they get Dak on the move a little bit more to counteract some of that pressure? And he's at his best when he's throwing on the run, when they're doing some of the waggles and stuff. Now, Carolina was moving sideline to sideline, Kuechly taking things away. But that's something they can look at doing to try to open things up a little
Yeah,
bit.
misdirection is always good when you got that many playmakers on the offense, if you're using those playmakers.
For sure.
Our direction now is going back to Nate Newton with another fan question from our beautiful friend. Hi.
We have here Miss Vicky from California. She has
Hi,
a
Vicky.
very good question for our panel.
Hi.
I just want to know, do you think that Sunday is a must-win for the Cowboys?
Oh, like Nate says, they're all must win.
Brian says yes. I say no. I say adamantly no. I don't believe that.
NFC
I don't
East.
believe in week
you
2
kidding me?
of a 16-week
NFC
season.
East.
I don't believe that
out of all
anybody.
people that is always talking how important these early games are.
Look
now
at her
you're
with the
gonna go
finger
back and
point.
say
I
no?
don't
Finger
believe.
point.
I don't believe that in week 2. I don't believe that in week 2 of a 16-week season you can say that anybody is out of it. We saw it last year with the Saints. The Saints went 0-2. Then they got on a run. And they ended up in the NFC Championship game. I believe that at the end of the day, you still have to play out the season. And as long as you can figure it out. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not in a tough situation. You lose 2 games to start the season, you're in a tough situation because statistically, that doesn't look good for you. But I don't think that at that point you say this is a must-win. I don't believe that.
After
Do not beat on the table. Your mics are
Sorry.
jumping and breaking. And put your mics closer to your mouth.
Nate,
Thank you.
I'm emphatic about that.
Right.
I believe that
you can be-
wholeheartedly.
I don't know what emphatic means, but okay.
I go the opposite
have-
way. This is a definite must-win because, one, the Cowboys need to regain confidence.
Yes.
Dak needs to gain that confidence back that he had and that we saw earlier on. Not only that, not only that is the Giants is one of the worst teams that they will be facing. So they're going to end up going up against better teams. So, yes, Derek,
This
this
is not one of the worst teams they're going to face this year.
not the worst. I didn't say worst,
Okay.
but they will be facing a lot better teams.
There are
and
some better teams on the schedule. I think the
There
Giants are right in the middle. They're probably one of those middle teams. though.
well, right now they're 0-1.
Rob, speak it.
When you are facing this question is kind of a trick question because our team is young, and we have a lot of people in a lot of different positions playing for the first time for the Cowboys. When do you think that, because it comes a point where young guys got to believe in what you're coaching and believe in what you're saying, and more importantly, they got to see veterans doing what you're saying. So victory is easier to teach than a loss, because guys are like, okay, I double moved this guy and I still got jammed. Not knowing that you got to give great effort to make this thing happen. That's how young guys think. So I'm not saying it's a must win, but if they lose this game,
Yes, it is, Nate.
since 2009, it's only 2007. It's only 9 teams that started 0-2 and made it to the playoffs.
How about since
That's
19?
9 teams.
How about
That's a pretty good number.
how about
right?
since 19?
10%?
That's still. I mean, it's possible.
How about since 1993
There
when
it
you
is.
when you guys did it? And
that was different.
I've heard that, but that might have been the best team we've ever seen in the National
That's
Football
different.
League.
That's because they didn't have their best player.
And I don't. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
had some pretty good players around.
Right,
And this guy
yeah.
being one of them.
1993, bruh.
If
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I get it.
How old were you in 1993? You weren't even in college then.
I was in college.
You weren't in no college.
I was a sophomore in college, as a matter of fact.
Thank you, Miss Vicky. This dude, oh man, thank you.
Appreciate
it's
Wow.
It's pretty.
Let me
darn
go
close.
find another victim.
Go Nate. It's pretty darn close to a must-win. It's about as mathematically, it does not work in your favor.
Yeah, I have a hard time thinking when you're going to be playing until December and you're just in the midpoint of September.
Yeah, statistically it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to me it's too early to say that it's a must-win. Now, yes, it puts you in a bad situation, but it's not a must-win. I think we use that term way too loosely. It's not a must-win.
Brian thinks
you said the opposite on the break.
I did not say the opposite on the break. You never heard me say that.
You sure talk a lot about these early games,
yes,
how
but
important they are.
I never said it was a must-win. That's different.
Okay.
They're important. Every game's important.
Okay, don't win
every
this
game's
one.
important.
We'll be fine.
Every game's important.
He says every game's a must-win.
And I get that. I get that.
There's only 16 of them, Dave.
Yeah, it's only 16 of them, and I get that every game's important, and especially when you're playing these games against division teams and when you're playing in the NFC. They're all important. But I don't think you're at a point yet where you can really legitimately say this is a must-win. Because guess what? They're not out of it if they lose this week.
This is one of those unending arguments that I'm going to end right now.
Mike Marshall
Cowboys
in the building.
must win. Hey, Mike Marshall with the Mavericks now. Big fella. We miss you here at the Cowboys. We do have another Twitter question, #CowboysHH if you want in on the conversation. Obviously, we don't have any word yet because we haven't got to talk to anyone. It's only Tuesday. But John wants to know any word on what's going to be going on between Schultz and Gathers for week 2.
Ooh,
so I'm going to ask you guys, any ideas?
Can you back up a second and ask the question?
Skirt.
Yeah, ask the question, was anybody shocked that Rico ended up being inactive on Sunday?
Coming off of an arrest the day before they made final
that
cuts?
way, no.
No, I'm not
Guess
shocked
not.
at all. But,
Okay.
Lindsay, that's a good question because I almost wrote about this today. If Schultz is only going to get a couple snaps in the game, and they did go, I think, 13 personnel a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, they had one. Did they have one red zone opportunity? That's an opportunity where you have to cash in there. Why not keep Rico active and have your big 6'8" tight end available for jump balls? You know, and that's something they're going to have to consider based on matchups or based on those valuable red zone situations where maybe you put him in the game for that.
But the one thing I was
just going to say, from my understanding and the people that I've been talking to on this matter, is that Schultz is able to help you a little bit more on special teams versus Rico. And that is something that kind of, at this point, when you're the third, fourth tight end, it comes into account. Yeah.
That's your
basically.
That's a good point. You have to weigh that versus what Rico could give you on jump balls and in the passing game.
And not only that, but I do think that there is a scenario you could look at where you say the Cowboys could look at it as, like right now, they're trying to kind of establish what their offense is. It'll come a time later in the season. Right now, they got down the red zone this game, and what they do, they gave it to, Dak had to run up the middle. They got Zeke. They'll use him. They're establishing those things. As you get a little farther into the season, when you want to throw that wrinkle in there, that may be an opportunity to maybe bring him in and create that extra wrinkle at that point when teams haven't seen it on film. So I could see a scenario where they're like, we can save that a little bit, and we can do some other things in the red zone.
One more quick fan question before we got to get to break. Nate?
This is going to be a question you all going to love.
Uh-oh.
You going to love this dude, Juwan from DeSoto, Dallas.
DeSoto,
I should say Texas, but he said DeSoto, Dallas. So, hey, Juwan, what is your most important question? This is the question of the day.
All right, so sometimes it's hard being the lone Jason Garrett supporter in Cowboys Nation.
Whoa.
So I wanted to know, if the Cowboys offense continues to stall, do you see Jason Garrett being replaced first or Dak Prescott?
It's harder to get rid of a quarterback than it is a coach. It really is. So honestly,
Nate like that.
I don't want to see you dancing back there off camera like you don't have to answer, Nate. He's out of control right now. Expose him.
Nate
Thank
loves
you.
it a little bit too much. So honestly, obviously, it's always easier, I think, to get rid of the coach than it is the quarterback. Once you get a quarterback that's why you see in the NFL, you'll see a quarterback that's like pretty good that'll get a big contract. The reason why is because, and we saw it in the early 2000s, it's because once you get a quarterback you feel like is kind of decent, you can't risk going back to not having a quarterback at all. And so from that standpoint, I think the Cowboys will be slow to make a decision they don't think Dak's the right quarterback, because they've at least seen a point in his rookie year when he was good. And so they're going to keep holding out hope that he's good. So they may change a lot of stuff before they decide, hey, we're going to get rid of our quarterback. I think they're going to give him every opportunity to resume what he was doing his rookie year before they would make a move on him.
And again, we've seen several quarterbacks come in, and the results, they're still not good results. So clearly, it's not just the quarterback here. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
The reason I asked
Garrett?
that question is because Jason Garrett has seemed to be a staple here. And as you said, Dak has performed well, so have we seen the offense perform well, and this is Jason Garrett's offense. And Dak's contract is coming up, and as you said, we see mediocre quarterbacks who haven't been proven winners in this league get big contracts. So
They're not big contracts,
Well,
but
I don't
good-
know if we have
big
time to
contracts-
get all the
big
way
contracts
into
for-
this.
yeah.
market
Yeah.
level contracts.
Yeah.
And he's only,
So with the way that Dak is going, do you see him still being able to get that type of deal?
I mean,
Ask me
look,
after week 10.
not even that. I mean, he's eligible after this year, but they could go another couple years and this year and next and
Yep.
see what he's got.
All right, we're
Right.
going to take another final break from Happy Hour, but I have some really good burning questions for these
Oh,
guys.
my
And they
goodness.
have nothing to do with football. Next.
Uh-oh.
Cowboys fans know that the second best of anything
That's
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a great one, but hey.
But hey, it's something. We're trying to get to know you guys even more. Derek, what's a random fact about
All right,
you?
I got one.
'Kay.
I have 9 brands.
Brands?
Yeah, as in
Like horses?
9
Oh my
brands.
gosh,
Some
you
of
are
them- some of
so
them
still
Lego-
in
Lego
college.
I got 9 brands.
You were still in college.
I was still in college. I have 9 brands.
9.
9.
Did your wife ever?
No.
Well, she got to put a brand.
Is that
in.
it?
No, she
So
don't need a
what
brand.
did
I-
you
That's
drink
called a brand.
before?
That's as much of a brand as
That's
she
10
gets to put.
brands.
Yeah, that's 10.
Yeah.
Right.
This
How
is
much
all,
did you drink before the brand?
Not much. Not much. I was pretty sober.
Feel the pain?
You manned
To
up.
lie?
No, it actually wasn't too bad.
Okay.
The smell was the worst part.
He is our ringleader, just letting you know.
Smell was the worst part.
Amber, moving on from that.
Something very random.
Random fact about Amber Garcia.
I was a Boy Scout leader. I taught little boys how to survive in this world. So, yeah.
That right
those
here
little boys
is
know
why
how
she
to
has
survive.
this job. She's so in charge. I love that.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to tell more people
Yeah.
that.
What ages? What age were you?
They were in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Taught him how to survive, how to be little gentlemen, how to behave. Yeah, they need to
stuff.
learn that from a woman.
Yes, they do.
They need to learn it.
Up top. Rob, random fact.
I go fishing every chance I get, and
love it.
it's tough in this climate. There's like a month out of the year where in Texas it's okay. It's like nice enough to go fishing, but I need to go with Broadus at some point.
Broadus is a
But,
lake man.
yeah, I love it.
When his time is done with the Cowboys, he will be on a lake house, and we will all
No,
be
he's
there.
not. He's going to Costa
man,
Rica.
I'll take
What?
He's going to
You like
Costa
local-
Rica.
you like
He's
local
told me this
fishing,
over and over again.
Out. You like sea? You like local lakes?
I'll do anything. I'll go fish in my neighborhood pond if I need
Okay,
to.
well,
but I'll
I'm
go
gonna
on
take you out to Canton. I'm gonna take you out to Prime Place.
Lake
Okay.
or Costa
You got
Rica?
like about a 9 to 10 acre lake. You know.
Both.
Let's do
Brian
that.
over here says both, lake and Costa Rica.
Oh, okay.
For
All
all of
right.
us to go to.
All
Brian's gonna be in
Good.
Costa Rica in 3
Yeah,
years.
no doubt.
I don't think his budget stretched that far.
All right, next we're playing. I don't know. I haven't thought
Well,
about
you
it.
can't ask
Well, you can't ask
Whoa.
questions you're not going to answer.
Yeah, you can't ask questions you ain't gonna answer.
Gosh.
Random thing you don't know
I'm gonna
about
own
her.
a
She
random.
want like 6
it's not
more
a fact.
kids.
It's going to be
She
a
want
fact.
6
I'm gonna
more
have a
kids.
ranch one day.
You're going to have a what?
A ranch.
A ranch. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You left
That's
one.
really not a surprise to
You
anyone
left
on
a
my
ranch.
staff, probably.
You left for
I can
Okay,
see that.
random fact: I was offensive MVP in basketball in high school.
Whoa, nice.
Whoa.
I didn't know
Cool.
that.
That's more like it.
She's got a
Me
jump
and Rob
shot
played
now.
basketball together at training camp. We used to.
Did she kill you?
So fun.
No, we killed somebody else. I
Oh,
mean, it was,
y'all were on the
yeah,
same
it was
team.
like a
Okay.
2-on-2 sharpshooter
Oh,
deal.
We
Like, yeah.
beat the players. Like Rob can shoot. Yes,
Nice,
that's
okay.
a good random fact.
All right, that's
All
good.
right, we're
Preston
playing
Wood.
Senior superlatives, kind of. You know what those are?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
best this, most likely to this. Okay, we're playing it about our staff. Stop looking. I'm gonna throw it out, and you're gonna answer on our staff who is the best. So first up, who has the best hair on our staff?
Nick.
Used to be Shannon.
Used to be Shannon.
That's a shame, man.
That
That's a
changed.
Wow,
That's a
changed real
shame.
quick. Can you
That
come
changed.
Can you put a camera on that?
For those of you who know Shannon Gross from
Yes.
Yeah,
from
you know,
hanging with
yeah.
the boys every
I'll holler
afternoon
Nick, but I miss
at
Shannon.
12:30 p.m. on DallasCowboys.com and Cowboys Mobile. He used
Come
to
on.
have hair.
He is now John Malkovich in Rounders,
Nice. Yeah,
Seriously.
nice. Yeah.
or the villain in Iron
Love
Man.
you,
One of the two.
Shannon.
Got him, yeah.
Just today, he decided that he was going to change that up and go all Broadus on us. So, yeah, he's a ball guy now.
I like
it.
it, man.
I do too.
Shannon the
I
goat.
like it.
Let's give
Good.
it up.
Let's give it up for Shannon.
Shannon, we love you, big
No,
fella.
he's not a serial killer.
Who is the best dressed on our staff?
Wow.
Dave Hellman.
Ooh.
In
Wow.
his own way.
And then everyone
I had to
laughed.
do
his
it. I had
own
to do
way.
it. I had to do it.
Best dressed.
Eagleton, Derek Eagleton.
Wow.
Whoa!
Wow. Wow.
What is happening?
Wow. All right. All right.
I got to
He's
go
the
with
best dressed.
Jeremiah's got this
Jeremiah,
natural
really
swag,
good.
man.
Yeah, Jeremiah
His shoe,
will step
his
up
shoe
sometime.
collection alone.
Yeah, we could
he
fill
will
up this
step
bar.
up. Yeah, he will step up now.
Where are you, Jeremiah? Okay, moving on. Class clown of our group, which honestly could be everyone at any point of the day.
Taylor.
Yes.
Taylor.
Never a serious mode.
David Helman can say some funny stuff.
I
Yeah,
got to
he
go
is.
with Hellman.
David
He
Helman can
is.
say some funny
Yeah.
Dave
just-
can
that's-
turn my
especially when
day
he- yeah.
around on a
Especially
dime.
when he's
That's true.
attacking brothers. I mean, he can go when he's attacking brothers.
Yep.
It's our class clown.
Yeah.
Biggest prankster. Who can you never take your eye off
don't know
of? Who
that.
do we not trust?
Nick.
I don't trust Nick.
Nick is that
can
Nick
keep-
is that person that
Yep.
you're always like, are you really being serious right now, or are you playing
Um,
with me? Yeah, that's
he
Nick.
has the straight face down,
Yes,
so
yeah,
you
that's
never
Nick.
know if he's real or not.
Yes.
I
I
don't
might go with Lindsey Draper on this one, actually, because with certain moods you get into, it's like, all right, I'm on one. I'm gonna need this person and this person. Usually Dave or Taylor.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go with Lindsey.
Rob, you're class clown most gullible. Like you would believe that I'm really mad at you if I'm not.
Probably. Yeah. Probably.
Who has the best personality of our group? Best personality.
Mickey.
Nikki.
I said Nikki.
I thought you said Mickey too. Like,
Nikki
whoa.
I said Nikki.
Harrison.
Love you, Mick.
I
but
love you, Nikki.
Nikki
and
wins out.
Mickey.
Yeah, I'd
Both
say
Nikki and Mickey.
Nikki's
Okay.
never had a bad day.
Yeah. No, she is not.
Who? I already know the answer to this one. Who is our wild card mood person?
Wild card mood.
Mm-hmm. Who is it, Amber?
I don't know. Next question. Next question.
Who is it? Let
Everyone
me know.
afraid to answer? Okay, moving on. Who is the worst singer of our group? Probably.
Oh.
I've seen Shannon do karaoke.
Wasn't good.
Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
It sucked.
It was
so,
horrible.
yeah, I'll go with
You
Shannon.
didn't figure out whether it was dead or alive. Huh?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was dead. No,
wasn't
trust
good.
me, it was dead.
It wasn't good.
It was definitely dead.
Most talkative.
Me. No, I'm kidding.
Chris Bean.
Definitely not me.
Beamer? There he is
Bean.
over there on
Yeah.
Chris Beam
audio.
always got something to say now.
Beam?
Yeah, Chris Beam.
That's a good one.
That's
That is
a
a
good
good one. Yeah, I would
one.
give it to
That's
Beamer.
a
I would
good
give it to
one.
Beamer.
Yeah.
Who would you most, no, I don't know how to word it. Who would you want to be stranded on an island with of our group?
Would not or would?
Would.
Oh, would. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Nate's like, nobody.
No, it made me think of a joke. When I was like 400 pounds, Dion told me, he said, if I was stranded on an island, Nate, I would want you to be there with me. Because eventually I would have to kill you.
Gosh.
Most food. The most food.
Yeah, the most food, yeah.
That's
Wow.
pretty funny.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. Who would you be? Which one?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think who's the most resourceful.
I know. I'm thinking about
You better
this
go with the
too.
fish guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
outdoorsy? Probably Broadus.
Yeah,
Probably
better go
Broadus.
with Broadus.
Yeah.
You know,
Brian,
Miss Amber, you know how to start a
he
fire.
really would.
You know how to
He'd be
start a fire, right? Or
great.
you just.
She did lead the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
So it's a tie between Amber and Broadus.
Yeah.
Maybe William, though, because William knows everybody and
He
has been
does.
everywhere
That's
and has
so
done
true.
everything.
Yes. He'd be
Yeah,
able to
but-
call
but-
somebody. Like, he'd
but
be able to
hey.
get in touch with somebody that he knows. Yeah.
You seen the movie?
I met
Oh, yeah.
him one time.
Oh, yeah. I made a raft out of my own hair. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
That's all my superlatives.
That's
I'm
it.
on Google right now, but these are all weird. Like, we're not seniors in high school.
No.
Some of us act like it, but yeah, it's all right.
All right, guys, we're wrapping up our show here.
Yes, we are.
Happy hour. What would make you happy the rest of this week? Like, what do you, walking into the locker room, what do you want to hear? Who do you want to see? Who needs to turn it around? Because right now, let's just be honest, the fans are dejected. Everything we put out, all the replies, you guys are being so negative, and we want to turn that around for you.
Honestly, I don't think that turns around until Sunday, because right now I think that's what happens at this point in the year. Before the first game, there are 32 teams around the country that are optimistically thinking, could this be our year? And then half of those teams this week are realizing, maybe it's not going to be our year. And that's hard to take when you got 15 more games to go. So until they get to next Sunday, and if the Cowboys should have a better outing, and if they should get a win, then I think it starts to turn around. If that doesn't happen, then I think you stay in this funk because fans start realizing all the optimism they had for all those months from about April all the way through training camp and into that first game, they feel like now it's all gone.
When this team doesn't have that guy, and even though Zeke is that guy, they don't have that guy that going to give them that spark. So who is going to spark this team? Who is going to put this team on his back and refuse to let them lose? Who is going to make the key interception?
Who can do
Who's
that?
Gonna make the great
What player do you think has that ability? Not only by the way he plays, but in his ability to put everybody on his back and say, look, come on, let's do this.
We've seen Sean Lee do it. We've seen him get a
Tank,
pick at
maybe?
the right time. Tank has that ability
Yeah.
to just put this team, and regardless of what happens.
And for one, Zeke can set a tone for the whole team.
True.
If he can get rolling early, they need to get him going somehow in the first quarter Sunday.
Yep.
Nick, can you do me a favor and bring me up my final prop
Oh,
for the show?
We got props. When
Yeah,
that
we
happen?
do.
The pranksters got props.
No, it's a good prop. Bring it on out, big fella.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
What does that bag say?
Hello, you guys open
Hello.
this.
Oh, there
Open
it
it
is.
up. This is why we're celebrating tonight, guys.
Derek,
What? Huh?
do the honors.
Okay, all right. This is going to take a while. Y'all got to talk
How
while
were
I'm
the
doing it.
Emmys?
But when I look at this Cowboy team, all I can think of is if Dak comes out and plays well and hits his targets, they got a great chance
Yep.
of things turning around. And I believe that with all my heart. I mean, let it go. Don't sit there and think. Don't sit there and you've done it enough. You know, like Broadus love to say, if I see you do it once, I know you can do it twice. If I see you do it twice, you got to be able to do it all the time.
That's a great point, Nate. And I think he's going to watch – he's probably already watched film and saw, look, I could have made this throw, and this guy was open. I mean,
let it go.
There's things he's going to look at and say, this is correctable. I just maybe just have to cut it loose on a couple plays and read this here, and you know, he can be better off this week.
100%.
Because all the games I watched, even the games where guys won, like the Rams, they was getting after the Rams early in that game.
Yeah.
The Raiders was. Only team that didn't get after nobody was Detroit.
And Buffalo.
They got after. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, this is Mike Marshall's Emmy right here because he was definitely
My
part.
boy
I just
Mike,
want to
come on,
show
Mike,
it.
come on
Mike,
around,
get
Mike,
up here,
come
big
on around.
fella.
You know, when Mike got his Emmy, he took off to the Mavs. Way to go, Mike.
Get it and turn it into something else, right?
Yeah,
I just want to
This is
show
the guy,
what it
man.
looks like.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is our guy, man.
Ooh,
Good
that's
to see
pretty.
you.
Isn't that pretty?
So awesome.
man.
Isn't that pretty?
God.
Emmy
Somebody take a picture of that, man.
Emmy
This is the
gold.
closest I ever get to an Emmy.
Oh, stop it, Nate.
Congrats, Mike. Everyone, thank you guys so much for coming out to the Happy Hour podcast. It's been so fun. Thank you, Derek, for letting me be a part.
It's awesome.
Guys,
Good
let's do it
hosting.
again
You guys did
next
a great
week.
job.
There will be a new cast next week.
Yeah,
We'll
that's the
rotate
whole
it
idea.
all
The whole
time.
idea of
No,
this.
it won't.
The whole idea of this is every single week
No, it won't.
there will be a new foursome. Nate will be a regular. He's going to be out here every week. So
I sold my
come
soul.
back, check out Nate. But
I sold my
every week
soul.
there'll be a different foursome from our cast. So make sure you check it out. Make sure, more importantly, check out all the shows we have every single day on DallasCowboys.com,
Hanging
on Cowboys
is the
Mobile.
most important.
Cowboys Break, obviously, is a show you definitely need to be there for. The others,
Talking
catch it when you
Cowboys,
can.
you can't miss that one. And that comes on first, so check that one out for sure.
And I snatch all of their ideas and put it on my show hanging.
All right, guys, enjoy your night. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Happy Hour podcast.
All right.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,